Yo, what's poppin', my good people, on this day?
What's up?
You are now tuned in to Cooking with Quala. On today's menu, we're gonna cook some mac and cheese. We're gonna cook some red beans and rice, ham hocks, little sausage in them, and I'm gonna bake some turkey wings today that I'm gonna shoot up, and we're gonna put in the oven. Okay? So, here's what you need to cook for today's meal. I have, for my mac and cheese, I have the elbow. I have the large elbow pasta. I have 2 separate cheese. I have a pepper jack. That's my favorite. You get what you want to do, but this not. Okay. And I got some colby and some Monterey.
Monterey.
Now, on top of it, to top it off, I got a little Mexican style blend cheese. And I got a little half and half I'm gonna put in there. So it's everything you need for your mac and cheese. And your beans, look, it got to be the best, nothing but the best. Okay? So I got some beans here, of course. I ain't gonna cook all these, but you get the picture. I got my hocks here. And of course, you know, I got to have my cornbread. Most of all, got to have the sausage. Look, I know Louisiana people, y'all big on the mandel, but look, I found something out here in Texas that I can really find and it's good to me. So this is that country boy. Okay? Yeah. It's good. Y'all should try it. If you ain't tried it, try it. Okay? And I got my turkey wings cut up. I couldn't have them like I normally get them, but got my turkey wings here. And I'm going to shoot them up with some Cajun injection. Anybody know me know, look, if I'm cooking some meat like this, I got to tenderize it. I got to shoot it up and all the works. You feel me? Okay. So, and then, of course, y'all know I got my onion, my bell pepper. I got to have it. And, of course, y'all know I always keep my pre-chopped seasoning. So, same thing, onion, bell pepper, celery, garlic. Yeah, that's what I'm going to use to put on my little turkey wing. Now, this onion and this bell pepper, that's going to go in my beans. So, that's everything y'all need to cook today's meal. Let's roll. Okay, first thing first. I always like to let my beans soak. So what I did was put my beans in a nice little container, put them in some water, you know, made sure, you know, look through the beans, make sure I ain't have no bad beans, you know, throw them to the side. Old school shit. I'm sorry, I'm gonna bleep that one out. So, I'm gonna let them soak. Now, let them soak. My next thing, I'm gonna go ahead and boil my ham hocks. I always like my ham hocks to be real, real tender. So, I'm gonna get the boiling on these ham hocks. And as y'all see, I have my own little flow in the kitchen. So, I do like to do my stuff in steps. You feel me? So, put a little water in this and then I'm gonna let these boil. And after I put a little water in them and let them boil, we're gonna go on to our next step. Our next step is my turkey wings. So what I'm gonna do with my turkey wings is I'm gonna shoot my turkey wings up. We're gonna season them up real good, and we're gonna go ahead and throw them on over. We're gonna go ahead and throw them on over in the oven. We're gonna let them do their thing. But today, normally I stand over my beans and whip it. But this time, I'm gonna put them in my pressure cooker. So I'm gonna put my beans in my pressure cooker to kind of, you know, give it a little use, and at the same time make it a little easier for me. You know, something different. And of course, y'all, I forgot to tell y'all. I forgot, but don't charge it to me like that, you know. I'm still gonna give y'all the game. Okay, so bay leaves. You got to have bay leaves in this take. Got to have bay leaves. So, yes, we're gonna put some bay leaves off in our red beans as well. Okay, now, since we done boiled we done put our ham hocks in the boil for at least an hour and a half until it get tender to your liking. I like to kind of cook mine off the bone, so I kind of cook it like a kind of boil the salt out of it and boil it till it get tender for like about an hour, hour and a half. Then after an hour, I kind of check it, and in between, I check it. Now, what we about to do is now, we about to season and we about to inject the turkey wing. Y'all, when I opened this pack, I got a little bit disappointed, but hey, it is what it is, you know. They didn't cut it how I like mine normally cut. So that's still all ball. But guess what? A cook can still cook whatever. So that's what's about to happen right now. So what I'm doing is I like to shoot it up at least, each piece of meat I shoot it up at least 4 times. So I kind of find like, space it out like different points in the meat. Well, I do the front, I do the back, and I kind of catch both of the sides. But in this case, how they cut them, it's like I'm gonna have to go all through this thing, y'all, just get the shoot. So that's pretty much what we're doing right now. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this up really, really good. Just to make sure it's, and I like to shoot it up first, y'all, and then after I shoot it up, then I'll season it. So that's pretty much what I just did. I just shot it up real good. Okay. And I'm just repeating it for all my pieces of meat. Okay, and I'm just gonna repeat this process for all my meats. Okay, now we got it seasoned. Next thing, I'm gonna add my butter. I like to put butter on top of my meat, especially when it's turkey or roast or something like that. Make sure it's real tender. That's just how I like to do it. And I cut it in slices, so I'm gonna put butter on top of it. That way it's gonna melt down as it cooks, and then I'm gonna put my chopped up seasonings in, which is my onion, my bell pepper, and my celery, and my garlic. So that's what I'm doing right now. Oh, oven ready, just in time. Remember I told y'all to put it on 400? Well, guess what? My oven didn't reach 400, so it's hot and it's ready. 400 degrees. Okay, now I'm gonna top it with my little seasoning. And of course, you know, I got to make sure I overdo it with the seasoning, because this was gonna cook down and give it a really, really nice taste, fine taste. So okay. Now, I'm going to top it off with a little of my season, my injection. I top it off just with a little bit. This my thing. This what I do. You don't have to. This just what I do. That way, it cooked down to pretty much with Worcestershire sauce and this. And all the seasonings kind of make its own little juice. Really good, y'all. Really good. Alright, now we're finna wrap this up, and we're gonna put a little foil paper on it, and we're finna put it in the oven, and we're gonna let this cook. Cause you know, turkey take a little time, just to make sure it's tender, so I'm gonna put this in the oven for like, I'm gonna cook it for like an hour and a half, depends on, after an hour and a half, I'm gonna check it. If it's soft to my liking, I'm gonna take it out. Well, if it's tender to my liking, I'm gonna take it out. If not, I'm gonna put it back in and just repeat it until I feel like it's soft enough to where I like it. So let's wrap this up, and we're gonna throw this on in the oven. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. And we're gonna put this on in the oven. It's in the oven. Got our ham hocks boiling. I got at least about another 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna check the turkey wings. So, we got the beans. I let them soak. You can tell how they kind of shrivel up. Let them soak for about an hour. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these beans over into my slow cooker, well, my pressure cooker. Okay. So now I'm gonna add my seasoning, my onion and my bell pepper. I'm gonna add it on over in here. Okay. Now let me get a spoon, something else, so I can kind of mix it around. And with the sausage, everybody different when it comes down to the sausage. Some people like to boil them, because they say it tastes for the texture. It kind of gets some of the grease out of it. Me, on the other hand, I like mine's pretty well done, so I like to kind of saute mine. So I'm gonna saute my sausage. Here, I'm gonna saute that, and I'm just gonna mix this in. Then I'm gonna add a half a stick of butter over in this. Yes. Now I'm gonna add my half a stick of butter in here, and, so y'all can see. Okay, then I'm gonna add my bay leaves. Remember I told y'all, got to have your bay leaves. So I'm about to add me some bay leaves in this thing. And I'm gonna add at least 8 cups of water over here. And I would let y'all see it, but it got like a little marking right here where you can kind of see it. I don't know. There you go. See it? Yeah. So I'm just gonna add about 8 cups of water over into this. Doing it because I want my beans to cook down really, really good. Then I'm putting it in this pressure cooker and cook a little faster in the pressure cooker. So, okay. So, what we do is we're going to drop it on over here. We're going to put the lid on this thing. Go, and it's locked, and we're gonna put it on the pressure cook, and for the time I'm gonna do 45 minutes, y'all. Okay, there we go. Make sure it's sealed. Okay. So now we got that in there. Now what we about to do is I'm gonna go ahead and saute our sausage, and then after that we let them drain. I like to drain them. After I drain them, then I add them over here into my beans. But I'm gonna let my beans cook until my juice kind of cook down and start getting my liquor, like my grandma say, the thick. Yeah, when it start getting a little color to it, then I'm gonna go ahead and kind of add my sausage in there, and hopefully by then I've been and got my ham hocks out, and I like to cut my ham hocks up. I'm gonna cut them up real good, take them off the bone, then I'm gonna go ahead and throw the meat on over into them as well. Okay, now I'm gonna check on my beans. Oh yeah, they cook it down really good. Okay, so now what I'm about to do is add my meat over to my beans. I let my beans cook in a pressure cooker for about 45 minutes, and I told y'all why. The pressure cooker cook like half of the time it would take for you to cook it on the stove. The pressure cooker cook it half that time faster. So that's why I did 45 minutes. So what I'm about to do is now, I let my sausage drain. So right now I'm just adding my sausage over. Matter of fact, yeah. I'm just gonna add my sausage over. Which and of course, I like to do my ham hocks different. So I boiled them and I took them off the bone and chopped them up real good. Now I'm about to add it over to my red beans. Okay, we added the meat. Okay, now I want to season my beans. Now I got a nice little liquor going. So now I'm just gonna season my beans. I like to season my beans with a little parsley. I'm gonna use a little onion powder. I'm gonna use some garlic powder, and then I'm gonna use some pepper. And I always like to let the meat cook down in it a little bit more, and then I'll add my salt. That way I know how much to add. That way my beans don't be salty. And after that, we're gonna put the top back on them, and we're gonna start the pressure cooker for another 45 minutes. And we're gonna let the meat cook in with the liquor, and we're gonna check it again in 45 minutes. Now we're finna make our mac and cheese. First thing, I got some boiling water over here. Now the water is boiling. I'm going to add some salt. Kind of give my pasta, my noodles a little flavor. Yeah. And then I'm gonna put them on over here and I'm gonna cook it for 6 minutes. I don't want to overcook them because I'm still gonna put my mac and cheese in the oven. So I'm gonna cook them for 6 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna let them boil for 6 minutes. And as a matter of fact, we're gonna set the timer. Make sure we're cooking for 6 minutes. Now, we're gonna make our, put it on the, I'm gonna let the pot warm up for a medium, with a medium high. And, well, on the medium heat. And I'm gonna make my sauce. So meaning right now I'm gonna add a little butter over here, and then I'm gonna add like 2 tablespoons of flour. So I'm gonna use butter and I'm gonna use flour. But right now I'm trying to set this timer, y'all, so we can make sure we're cooking these for 6 minutes. Anything over, I guarantee you will be overcooking them. And by the time you put them in the oven, it won't be worth your time. So timer, 6 minutes. So we got 6 minutes on the timer right now. And right now, I'm going to take a half stick of butter, add it on over there, and I'm going to let that go down. And I'm going to take tablespoon of flour. And I'm going to add another one. Okay? And I'm going to let that get thick. I'm going to let that cook down. And we're going to see how that turn out. We're going to let that melt. And once that melt, then we'll cut up these blocks of cheese. That's what I'm about to do while I wait for that to melt. I'm going to cut up these blocks of cheese into like 8 little blocks if I can. And then we're going to add if I was making a big one, I would have did 2 cups of half and half, but instead I'm gonna do 1 cup of half and half because I'm not cooking a big old meal. So I'm gonna cut it down the middle. And I'm gonna cut it into blocks. That way it helps it. It's easier to melt down when I do put it over there. Put it over into the pot. It's a whole lot easier for it to melt down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna repeat the steps on both of these cheese. I'm gonna cut this pepper jack up, and then I'm gonna cut the Monterey as well. And after that, I'm gonna add it over once it melts down. Okay, now I told y'all to add the flour and the butter. Well, it's gonna be like a white little paste. Yeah. Mix that on up in there. And next we're gonna do a cup of half and half. One cup of half and half. Okay, we're gonna stir this up. Get it real good. We're gonna make sure it stay on the medium. And being that it's flour and it's butter, to give it a little taste, I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper. So, add them over. I'm gonna do a little salt. I'm gonna add a little pepper over into this thing. Okay. Y'all hit it. And I'm gonna add a little, onion and garlic pepper. And I'm just putting some more seasoning back in there because I did use flour and butter. So that's why I'm adding back to my little paste that I got, my homemade sauce that I'm making. Okay, so now and then we're about to place this cheddar. Now over here some that's noodle from the pan, y'all. You have some shredded cheese where I'm gonna put on the top, but right now I'm gonna drop all the little butter, all the little cheese cubes that I've already cut up. I'm gonna put it over into the butter, the flour, and the seasoning. And we're gonna let that melt down real good. And once that melt down, we're gonna actually add that over to our pasta. Then I'm gonna put me some cheese on the top. And then it's gonna be ready for the oven. But while y'all here, let's check on these turkey wings. Let's check on them. So, let's see where we at now. Oh, yes. Yes, y'all. Okay. So, turkey wings is ready. You see that? Yes. So, my turkey wings ready. And my oven is ready for my mac and cheese. So, right now, it's on 400. So, what I'm about to do is I'm going to cut this oven down to 350. Okay. Now, about to place this in the oven for about 30 minutes, and then we'll be back. thank you guys for tuning in. It's my finishing product. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for next week.